Why this guy always touch the app when he's not recording? Is he that arrogant? No, I'm not, first of all. And yes, I'm literally a little bit honest with you, so I touch a little bit. And not that much that you cannot handle by your own, but that's intentionally being done so that you can at least do a little bit of your homework. Otherwise, I'm just spoon feeding a lot of things to you. But this is how the training is like that. So it saves you a lot of time and you can simply give more time to your innovation by searching on a relevant task. So what I have done, I have selected this and I just have deleted the label text. You can see the label text is right there for the latitude. But at this point, I have just deleted that. Okay, nothing apart from that. It really doesn't really make sense that latitude, latitude, longitude, longitude. So I have deleted. We want the data to be triggered when I'm clicking on this get locations. Okay. Now the next thing that you might want to move is viewcontroller.swift. I have got you a couple of comments out here and you have to add it in the info list that what we want to do. And this is just for seeking the permission of the user that you allow the location usage for this app. And you might have seen this quite a lot, the first pop-up that comes up and says that you allow the app to use your location, and it's quite common. And I'll go into the info.playlist, click anywhere on the plus button and paste this guy. This is for simply the application allow the location usage when in usage mode. So you can simply click on that, and after that I would like to give a message to the user, and that simply says allow location in usage mode. You could have typed a better message than me. I'm really sure of that. And we'll go back again and try to copy that. And in fact, we will successfully be able to copy that. Quite a fun. And click anywhere. It's not compulsory you click on that only. You can click anywhere. And then we will say always allow to use location. Okay, good. These two lines are compulsory. You should always implement that. Next thing that you want to have is import the code location module, and also make sure that you follow one more protocol, and that protocol is CL location manager delegate. So this is the protocol that we follow. If you don't know what the protocol is, just revisit the Swift movie that I have created long ago in the Swift section. Okay, so after that, whatever we'll be doing will go out there in this button function. Okay, before I move on to show about the location usage, let me be clear on that location and the maps are two different things. And yes, I repeat myself, location and maps are two different things. If you want to get the location, you don't need or don't necessary to implement the map functionality. And that's a reason, and that's how it works. Okay, so how does the location works? It's simply like a hotel manager. You simply say, hey, you are manager now. You will be taking care of 10 guests, or maybe other service, like you may be taking care of all the guests in the best possible mode. Okay, and now you start working, and that's the 3 steps we do. Okay, so let's try to do those 3 steps. So first of all, I need to create a variable. So I'll be creating just above there. And let's call it as a manager. Really, what am I typing? I have no idea for that. And let's call it as a manager. And this manager, again, really lots of typos I'm doing. And this manager is going to be a CL location. Please give me a suggestion. It will not give me any suggestion because I hate really my typing. You might be also getting rid what this guy is actually doing, but I really make a lot of that. I will not disagree with that because I cannot see my typo with this big mic out there. So I'll be calling as for manager CL location manager. We don't want delegate this time. We just want a manager class object out here. So this is how we do it. Save that. And now let's move on inside the function. So first of all, I'll say that yes, you are appointed as a manager. So I'll call it as self that yes, you are a manager now. So what would be your responsibility now? Your responsibility will be very simple. You will take care of maybe 10 guests or maybe all the guests. So I'll be saying manager dot desired accuracy, and you can see there are a lot of desired accuracy, and I'll just show you, and it simply say k I can simply say KCL location accuracy, and you can see there is a best for navigation. There is a 100 meter, kilometer, nearest 10 meters. I would like to go with the best one. Just serve all of my guests. Now I have said that, I remember that I need to take permission for the user as well. Hey manager, take the permission. So how to do permission is request always authorization or when in use authorization, depends on what you want to do. Let's go with the in use authorization. I would request you all to go for the always authorization method and check me out if there is anything wrong or not. Okay, so we have tell that you are manager, you have to take care of the guest, act starting just now. So I have to say manager dot start monitoring for that, and there are a lot of things you can work with any of that, and I would be using start updating location right now. Okay, good so far. Let's try to run our app this time because it's really a good point to run our app. We haven't run this app since the starting, so it might get us into some error. And I'll show you where to update the location because we are in the simulation mode. We cannot take our PC somewhere to just have that. So I'll click on the get the location. It pops up allow, really, and allow location in usage mode. Okay, please allow. And we will not be able to see any updates because we haven't changed the label or anything like that. But I'll show you one more thing, that there is in the debug mode, there is a location and there is a custom location. There is an Apple headquarter, or there may be some others like city ride, freeway drive. I'd like to go with the Apple right now, nothing much fancy. And we haven't printed out anything, so I can say that there is nothing on the logs as well. Okay, you could have printed the location out there. And in fact, we can do that quite easily. But we'll do that in just a moment. We'll first call up a custom function and we will do that in that. So it's really a good idea to call that function in that. So what we'll be doing is defining a function just outside that because we have done all that triggering and all of that. So I'll define a function. I'll call it as location manager. I'm looking for that function. And what I'm looking for is did update location. So I'm looking for did update. And we are looking for did update location. And there are two variations for that. One is just with the location and another with the from location. I'm looking for this guy right now. Nothing much. I'll get rid of this guy so that I can have much more room. And okay, it looks good to me. And we can see that we have got a location manager and it says did update location, and it's having a CL location automatically being printed up, and we'll be just printing out our location in that case so that we can see something on the board. So I'll be just calling the locations from that, save that, and it's again a good time to run the app so that we can see something in our log. And here is our app. Get the location. It won't be asking again because it has been saved in the setting. But if I hit that and go into that app, you can see that here. Let me bring it a little bit up. We can see that we are constantly updating the times and all of that. So we have got this guy. We have got this guy out there, some speed parameter, some course parameter, and we can see that we have already got the speed parameter and all of that. Let me bring that simulator back. In the debug, location would be city bicycle ride. And now we can see that we are having a speed variable as well. And this is changing because we are cycling now. Fun, enough of fun. Let me get back onto the work. And I'll be keep printing the location. Won't be doing much harm to me, at least not in the simulation mode. Yes, it can harm me because it can consume a lot of memory. Okay, so now it's time to update the location. So how we can do that? And updating and getting the location is not that much difficult, I would agree, but getting the address is a little bit tricky unless you give it a little bit Google search. So I'll just call it as let user location, you can name it anything, be inferred as a type of CL location, and it would be simply location, not the manager. And it's not getting me anywhere, so I'll just have a location. And what I'm be doing is setting it for an array of locations for the 0, the first one actually. And let's change the label. So letty label dot text is going to be equal to the value of, and I'm just trying to have what this technique is called, by the way. I hope you remember, this is string interpolation. If you don't remember, again visit the location. So we are sending that user location, and what we want to access is depend on the coordinate. So this is the latitude and these are the coordinates. So I'll call it as user location dot coordinate. Hey, suggest me something, guy. I'm really bad at the spelling, so it's not suggesting me. I think I have to type latitude. Save that. And I think there is a mistake, and yes, that is why it's not suggesting me. How did I type that as a small? Okay, looks good to me now. This should be also caps. Save that, and I hope it would be suggesting me, but I don't need it this way because I'll be lazy. Copy and pasting. This is going to be the longi label. This is going to be the longitude, and I really like this copy paste up. Whoever invented that, my salute to that guy. And we can also change the speedy label dot text, that is going to be equal to again the string interpolation. And here's a quick question, why I am doing the string interpolation? Can't I directly just type in for the value, or can save the value? Yes, I can do that, but there will be an error. So what would be that error? So let's try to run that again, and I really talk a lot. And get the location, and we can see, hooray, we got a label being updated. Nothing much fancy. You might have seen, hey, this is a child work, everyone can do that. But remember when you were just getting into the course, how tough it was for you. Okay, now it has been a fun. And let's get this guy over. And how to update the address. Now that's the tricky part. Not that much tricky, in fact. I would be just commenting out getting address. Okay, now getting address is a reverse geolocation process. Now geolocation process is when you just get a location and find its coordinate, but reverse geolocation means when you have a coordinate and you get an address from it. So what we'll be doing is we'll be creating a CL. There are a couple of them. We are interested in CO geocoder, and inside that there is a property for that, and that is geocode address dictionary. We are not looking for that. I'm looking for geo, or reverse geo in fact, and this is the reverse geolocation. Okay, so what is our location in that in that time? It is our user location, and after that I'm looking for is simply the completion handler. So if I tap it, this is going to be a simple function that we can have. So it requires a place mark, and place marks are obvious, so I'll just call them as a place mark. These are going to be my two variables, so I'll call them as a place mark. And really lots of typos. Place marks. Error is going to be error and not the error type. What am I typing? Error. Place escape and hitting a tab key, and inside the code I don't need to do much things out there. I just have to create a variable and just assign a value so that address label get updated. So I can have an if statement out there, if let, and I can call it as any place. If my place is equals to a place mark, I think I'm typing something wrong because it's not suggesting me. And after that I'll be having just the 0th element. Now why I have placed a question mark? Because I'm not sure if it is going to be there or not. If I save that, it gives me really, and if it's saying that we are if letting, it looks good to me, and we'll check out for that what error we are getting. So I would like to just print the place, save that. And what warning is causing me? Okay, it's gone. So I think I don't need to just run it. I can simply move ahead. And what you have to do is really simple. I just have to call self.addressLabel.text and assign it some value. And in fact, the print is good at this time. In fact, I would like to comment this first of all and show you how the things works. And run this guy. And what I wanted to show you is not on the app. This is somewhere here. And stop guys, stop, don't update too much. And let me get here. So we can see that, not here, what I wanted to show you is somewhere here. Don't worry, I'll find it. And here is the guy. So you can see that there are two addresses, the structured address, which is useful for us, the formatted address, which is not that much useful for us. So it says it's 185E Homestead Road, Sunnyvale, California, 94087, United States. Okay, this is not useful for us because we will be accessing that address using the structured address. So what properties are being filled up depends on us, like the administrative area is California, the administrative address is this, country code is this, and you should pick all of that from this line as well as this guy. This is more important. Now it says the full thoroughfare, and you should be looking only this one. Full thoroughfare is this, locality is Sunnyvale, postcode is this, and sublocality is this, and there is a country as well. Where is the USA? Somewhere, like language is there, thoroughfare, and you can have all of that. So where is that? There is a country code, there is a country, and make sure that some of these fields sometimes don't appear. Maybe you are on a highway or maybe on a beach, so some of these fields are not always there. So make sure that you put an error handling or maybe a lot of if else to handle that thing. Right now, just for the sake of completion, I would be removing this guy and placing a couple of things like that. And I would have this guy. And what I can have is place, and you can see as I put a dot, there is a address dictionary and all of that. I'm right now interested in printing the country. Okay, that's the one thing. And I would have a /n so that I separate it for the line. Again, a string interpolation. And I would have one more thing just for the sake of completion is, let's say, locality. Save that, and I'm going to run this app. And if I get the location address, and we can see the optional values. Now again, this optional is not for just for the sake of completion. This is optional because Sunnyvale might be presented or not. It might not be there. Optional is, of course, there will be always a country, but we cannot say that. If it's saying this is an optional, that means this value can be nil, and your application should be smart enough to handle these kinds of error. Let me stop that before it get crash and consume all of my memory. So make sure that you keep an eye for that. And my advice would be to check for all of this. And I have once I was creating an app for a client, and my senior, a long time ago, my senior told me that this is not a good idea to have that. In the Objective-C days, it was really a tough thing. In the Swift, it is just a piece of code, just a one line to have the country, locality. I'm really kind of annoying one, that how I can do that in just one line. I used to do that with so much of line in Objective-C, but really these are the good days for the programmer. Okay, so quite a lot of history lessons, and I have told you quite a lot, but again I would like to share one more thing, that always try to have these things checked and keep a close eye on that. Now I also told you I'll be giving you an assignment. So what is the assignment? Going back onto the main storyboard, and what we'll be doing is bring this guy back, and if I clear that out, this guy, you can see that we have got a lot of view controllers. So add a view controller. That means you just have to add a new screen. You already know that how to do that. On the first screen, there will be a simply button, a nice background of a spy or ninja, anything like that. And there will be only a single button on that app. And what that interface will do, it will take you on to the next screen, and inside the next screen you have to do all these things. What I have done, inside a button you have to do all these things in a view did load method. So it makes that whenever the view will appear, it will automatically get the latitude, longitude, speed, the course as well, the address, and it should get the address like full thoroughfare, the locality, the region, and the country as well. So not a big task, but again, it will keep you busy.